Yeah, so I was thinking about this and I was like, when was there a specific moment that I realized for sure? Okay, so back to the whole point of this video, which is when I realized that I'm gay. And while you'd think that everything that I just told you probably was, I would have realized somewhere along that path, I still didn't. You know, like even once we stopped seeing each other, I kind of just tried to put it behind me and I tried not to think about it a ton. I think I just tried to kind of ignore it, but there were so many other things that, but I did think about it. I had so many crushes on so many like TV show people and actresses and everything. I actually remember one night in particular, I had like a dream that I made out with Summer from the OC, and I woke up and I was like, oh my God, because up until that point, my first girlfriend was really the only girl that I had thought about in that way. And I think once I had that dream and I woke up and I realized what it was, I was like, oh my God, it's not only one. Oh, this could actually mean something for real. Not only did I have a girlfriend, now I'm having subconscious dreams about another woman. So while I wasn't convinced or wasn't sure exactly what it meant for me, I started to let myself try to figure it out a little bit and let myself be curious and to do some research, if you can call downloading episodes of the L Word on LimeWire research. Downloaded it and I watched it, and I think that's when I started to really realize like, okay, I'm too into this to not. I think I just started to realize more and more that I was happier and I was more excited about possibilities with a girl. Because I don't know, like I don't even, I would have like these relationships with boys in high school, and it just like, it was great and they were nice and something I obviously needed to experience, but it was just so unfulfilling for me. And I think once I started to realize that there might be other possibilities and other options, even though I was terrified and scared and not fully ready to accept it or tell anyone, I was more excited about the future and being able to have maybe a relationship that I really wanted to be in. Yeah, so I guess that's how I ended up realizing that I'm gay. Kissed a girl, had a relationship with a girl, and then did a lot of thinking. There are other moments too that I remember where anytime that I heard people saying a gay slur or something about gay people in a negative way, it just really started to affect me and I started to feel really defensive. And while I would have loved to just think it was me standing up for what I believed in, it was a lot more personal than that. And I think I started to realize that every time I heard someone say something negative about gay people, I feel like they're talking about me. And I obviously feel this way for a reason. So as time went on, I think I started having those conversations with myself more and more. Like, you could be gay. This is what this probably means. It's funny because me realizing I was gay and coming out were so hand in hand that I think I knew once I admitted to myself for sure and I said to myself, I'm gay, I knew I was gonna wanna come out really soon because first of all, I'm just terrible at hiding anything. And I don't know, when I thought about my friends, my close friends, and my sister in particular, I remember being like, oh my God, as soon as I accept this myself, I have to tell the people who are closest to me. So I think I kind of was dragging my feet on fully accepting it myself because I knew that was gonna mean I was gonna have to start thinking about coming out right away, which you don't have to. So if you're in that position, you can just, I don't know, learn from my bad example that you can take all the time you need. But I don't regret the way that it happened, and I'll talk a little bit more about coming out and what that looked like for me in future videos. But one thing that I will say that really helped me when I was starting to realize who I was and when I was trying to help myself accept me and accept the fact that life was going to be different than I had thought, I would lay there in bed at night, teenager like one does, with my emo music playing, and I would just tell myself over and over that I wouldn't change it if I could. And it was going to be hard, but it was going to be worth it. And my feelings for girls were confusing and slightly terrifying, but it was also really exciting and it felt really good. At least it was fun and I was actually really feeling something. And I honestly, I think that was the biggest thing that really helped me, was that I kept telling myself that. And I would literally coach myself. And I don't know if it was something that I told myself because I truly believed, or it was something that I knew I needed to believe if I wanted to really get to a place of acceptance. Because I didn't want to just accept it and be like, okay, like this is something I'm gonna have to deal with. I wanted it to be something that I could eventually love myself for and be excited about. And so I would sit there and I would tell myself, I wouldn't change this. This is who I am. And if I changed this little part about myself, I'd be changing a lot of other things too. Yeah. So I think that pretty much sums up my early days of being a little gay. And so weird to think back about those times. And it's funny because I honestly don't even know who I've actually told about that in that much detail. I feel like no one, maybe. But yeah, that's that. If you can take anything from this, hopefully you can relate on some level. I know that everyone's stories are different, but I don't know, if you're just kind of thinking about things or you're realizing certain things, just try to, I know it's super hard, and obviously sitting here today, it's easy for me to say stuff like this, but try to enjoy it on some level, because even if it's scary and you're not sure, you're in this really cool part of your life where you're learning something about yourself. Whether that means that you like girls or not, at least you're feeling something and you're curious to get to know the real you. And no matter what happens, this is so like cliche and cheesy, but it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Everything is gonna be so okay. And give yourself time. Push yourself if you wanna push yourself, and don't if you don't want to. You'll figure it out. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. I feel super exposed at this moment, but it feels good. I think it's, I want to make things that people can relate to and tell stories that people can maybe, I don't know, just listen to and maybe feel a little bit less alone. Because I know that I felt super lonely during that whole process, and maybe it would have helped if I knew of someone I could have related to and that I knew was going through similar things or similar feelings that I was going through. So yeah, I will be talking about my coming out story and what that was like for me. Yeah, if you have any comments or suggestions about things that you'd like to hear about, feel free, and I will see you guys soon. Bye, guys. Oh, I'm like shaking. This is so weird. I feel like I'm instantly transported back to 14, 15-year-old me sitting there being like, ah! No wonder why I put this off for so long. relationship that I'd had with a guy up to that point, where it was like, oh, you're cool, like you're fun, really like you, but let's try to kiss as little as possible.